Yo, what's going on, guys? Poizesto back with some more One Piece. Going to be going through Rebecca and Viola treasure map. Going to be showing you guys my teams, what I'm using, potential options for you guys if you're looking for some more free-to-play-ish teams. I did get lucky, and on my 30 gem multi, I did actually pull the new badge, so I am using them in some of the teams, but mainly they're there for the point boosts, and you honestly don't really need them that much in this treasure map. Honestly, this treasure map is very free to play friendly, you can see from all the teams I've got here. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into this and start with the Carolbite fight. So this fight is one of those ones where when you collect the treasure power at the start of the map, you'll go ahead and encounter her when you've actually when she's essentially broken the barrier or the piece of rock, stopping the secret area, if you want to call it that. So stage 1, Dex in characters, 10-turn cooldown reduction. What does that mean? Well, duh. Bring Dex in characters. So as you can see from my team, very Dex and heavy, of course. Now stage 2, only thing we need to worry about, bind, 5 turns in the middle row, and empty slots. 2 different units for this. Gone ahead and brought the Perona because she does remove bind by 3 turns, which is exactly what we need, because with sockets you're going to remove 2 extra turns of it, so you don't actually need full 5 turns. And then in terms of the empty orbs, bringing this Doflamingo because he's going to change all the empty orbs into matching, lock our orbs, and give us an attack boost. So that's more than enough damage to go ahead and kill that stage, honestly. 2 times attack boost for the whole team after the 12th hit means if all of these guys are full combo hits, which I think they are, so if I were to do just like 1, 2, 3, because they're all decks, and then do Neptune last, that should be more than enough damage to kill that stage by itself from the attack boost. So we've dealt with stage 2, final stage against Carrot. Big things we need to worry about: attack down, percent damage reduction, and block orbs. So this Alvida is essentially just here for one reason, which is to give me a chain multiplier to help me increase my damage output. I can honestly use her on stage 3 or 4 depending on what I want to do. Probably on stage 3 because yeah, it'll help maximize my Neptune damage a lot, because he is my only int character. I'm probably, once I get higher level and I've got my Rebecca and Viola, I'm probably going to switch out the Doflamingo for somebody else and use Rebecca and Viola as captain, as their swap effect will allow us to randomize empty slots anyway, so that's just something to keep in mind. But for now, this is the team I'm running. So let's go ahead and sort out all these different things. So the attack down, we're going to go ahead and remove Neptune. He removes it by 5 turns, and he's also going to give a no boost for our Cerebral and Powerhouse units, which I believe everyone apart from Perona is... okay, no. So Perona and Alvida aren't getting buffs, which is kind of annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Neptune himself is getting buffed, and then we're going to go ahead and bring this Ivankov because she will go ahead and remove the percent damage reduction while also giving us an attack boost. So this Ivankov is actually nutty, by the way, guys. If you never farmed her, I feel sorry for you. She was a Fortnite unit, which means I don't know when she's coming back, but she was like actually insane for a Fortnite unit. So hopefully you guys maxed her out back when she was available, because she's really good for this fight. So yeah, once we've done that, we've got an attack boost, we've got a no boost. The final thing we had to worry about is the block orbs, and since I'm running double Perona also does manipulate block orbs too, so I can use one on stage 2, and I can use the other one on the final stage to help me manipulate the block orbs. This team will get wiggled around once I do unlock Rebecca and Viola, but for now this is what I'm going to run early on because it's effective enough and it will definitely get me through. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the next fight, which I believe is against Perona. So let's go ahead and do that now. So against Perona, it's honestly very, very easy. If you have X-Drake, just use X-Drake, which I'm hoping all of you guys do. If you didn't farm the last treasure map, that's kind of a big rip. There's a couple of other ways you could do it. You could like just bring some rare recruits that remove barriers at that point. But X-Drake is pretty much optimal because not only is he strength, which means he's actually gonna, you know, help you output more damage. His special alone will probably just carry you for a very long time. Like his special damage is probably more than enough, honestly, to just help you get through this fight very, very, very quickly. And you don't even need to stall for the for like the strength and the colored orbs, because just double X-Drake means you can remove both turns of the perfect barrier. And it's actually, excuse me for saying the damage, you actually won't do the damage through the barrier, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. Honestly, I think it might go. I'm not 100% sure if the damage goes through. Then yeah, like if the damage goes through, then you're chilling for a long time. If not, all you have to do is essentially just bring a bunch of different boosters that are slashes. I've just brought Mihawk and a bunch of other random boosted slasher units because yeah, it's very, very easy to output damage with a unit that is going to be boosted and has, you know, increased stats. So yeah, X-Drake for Perona is very optimal, and I would highly recommend it. You really don't need, this is probably like one of the easiest fights, and this is one of the reasons why I'm saying this treasure map is very free to play. Like just X-Drake himself will clear that for a long time. Okay, next up we got Reiju. Kind of upset that she never won that legend. Was it like the pole event? I was really hoping for Reiju legend, but do believe she's getting a treasure map on JP actually, which is kind of cool. But anyways, quick Reiju. He thinks to remove damage threshold 99%, and she will go ahead and bind 2 random sailors. So this is way more important to prioritizing removing first. So we need to make sure we remove that ASAP, because obviously we want specials. So to do that, we're gonna go ahead and make sure Hody Jones is our captain, and his special is super good because it's gonna go ahead and remove the special bind, or they call it silence on here, by 5 turns. So because he's not a sailor, it means we can guarantee the removal of the silence, therefore allowing us to use other specials, primarily this one here, Morley, who is gonna go ahead and remove the the threshold damage. I always get mixed up with the different debuffs. Like it's such a similar phrasing, and I don't know, man. I think it's best to always go with Rainbow Shield, Blue Shield, and percent damage reduction. But that percent damage reduction is Rainbow Shield to some people, so I'm just gonna try and stick with, you know, threshold here to make it a little bit easier. But anyways, so yeah, Morley is gonna remove the threshold for us, and then Hody Jones has removed the silence, so it allows us to use Morley. And at that point, with one Big Mom special, you're chilling. You're double Hody Jones captain, one Big Mom special, more than enough damage. The rest of the units are literally just here to increase my stats and boost the score. It honestly doesn't matter who else you bring at that point. Alternatives here, let's have a look actually, just out of curiosity, which other units do remove the let's have a look. It should be somewhere. Yeah, remove the threshold. So if you don't have Morley, you could use Jewelry Bonnie here, or, you know, Boa, but they don't really work with Hody Jones because he boosts powerhouse and striker units. So you could essentially just try and go a different route with this. It is unfortunately annoying because it's, you know, not 3 turns or 2, it's actually 4, which means you do essentially need one that's a 5-turn remover, and the main one is actually Morley. Boa with double special can obviously work, and if you don't have any other alternative, I would say you should use her. Other than that, not too many, honestly. Not too many, which kind of sucks, because on Hancock these two are not really essential. If you don't have Morley, he is kind of a hard Coliseum. You could go with Magellan. I think his level 2 is 4 turns. I could be wrong about that. No, it's actually only 2 turns, which actually kind of sucks. That's actually pretty pretty Bible thump, honestly. So yeah, Mole or Boa are probably your strongest candidates. Even if Boa isn't boosted, just slap her on the team because the 4 turns of the threshold is definitely needed to kill the stage. Alright, next up is Sai Koala, Sai Boss. Obviously, you want to use some int units here if we can. Key things to remove: chain lock by 1.1. I was trying really hard to get Cracker support in here so that I didn't have to do it, but one of the units that I'm going to show you guys, you probably already know who it is. Treasure Map Nami, I may as well just say it now. She's really goated because she's going to go ahead and fix 2 of the issues, which are the chain lock she's going to remove and the badly matching she's also going to make matching. So Treasure Map Nami is a good unit for this, and he also does a 30k damage death hit, so we definitely need some form of, you know, defense, you know, some form of either Rainbow Shield defense up or even Threshold if you can manage to do it. That's pretty much it. Treasure Map Nami and some form of defense increase. So what did I do for my team? I went ahead and did a 6+ Robin team. Now Robin's really cool because her special not only gives us an attack boost, she's also going to fully reduce the damage by 100%. So talk about, like, you know, there's not really a better option out there, I could say, to increase your defense or reduce damage than Robin. She's gonna do very well here because she's also int. So yeah, Robin is like probably the most optimal for this. If you don't have Robin as a captain, there's a couple of different ways you could go about it. The main way is obviously just you have to have Treasure Map Nami. If you don't have Treasure Map Nami, then it's gonna make this stage really annoying. And I would say you should definitely use her. If you don't have her, try and get her built up for this treasure map. Now, in terms of captains, then that tells you that you should use someone who's cerebral or striker. So essentially, let's have a look here. Any of the 1.3s. Obviously, when you get further on, you could go ahead and use Rebecca and Viola, which I would actually recommend because they are int, which is nice. Other than that, you don't really have that many good options, honestly. Actually, the dual unit Magellan and Hannibal, if you have them, would be okay because they also do give you color affinity at that point. So all you would need to do then is also just essentially bring someone who goes ahead and increases your damage, so some form of % damage reduction. So this Doflamingo could potentially work, but I wouldn't recommend him because he is a very low booster. Best ones, yeah, are probably Kiyoshiro here. Kiyoshiro would be good, but I believe there is a condition that you do need to have. Let's have a look. Otherwise, reduced damage received rate if HP is above 99% when the pressure is reduced. So yeah, Kiyoshiro is actually pretty goated because if you don't store, he actually does he does this effect. It gives you Threshold instead. So if you're at max HP, basically, he's going to give you Threshold. And if you're not, he's also going to give you % damage reduction. So if you don't have Robin, then Kiyoshiro is actually a pretty good substitute and replacement. And you can honestly use him as your captain instead and go ahead and try and make like a slasher based variant. But I wouldn't recommend that because he is actually... Actually, no, he boosts Slasher and Cerebral. So honestly, yeah, Kiyoshiro would be a good replacement because it means you can go ahead and still use Treasure Map Nami here and still output some good damage. And essentially, yeah, you could honestly just use the same team as I did because this is a Cerebral based team because because Robin is a Cerebral captain. And yeah, I've just brought Rob Lucci for a null boost, Sabo for a conditional boost, and then Nami to remove all this annoying debuffs, and then Robin for the attack boost. So yeah, if you have all these units but you don't have Robin, just use Kiyoshiro captain and you'll do the same thing essentially. So yeah, easy clap, easy clap. Okay, the one before the final, we've got Strength Boa Hancock. Key things here. I was really hoping to try and build an Onami team, but first of all, she's not even boosted. Like, my eyes lit up when I saw, you know, defense down immunity, but yeah, no Onami here. I love that unit so much, guys. She's one, I've used her so much, and I've even rainbowed her now. She's actually so cool, but it sucks when it's full immunity that she's pretty much useless, but which is why I think I always try and use her as much as possible when I can. But anyways, key thing here, preemptively special seal sailors for 2 turns. So yeah, not the most annoying thing. That's just like, again, you know, special bind. So we're gonna go ahead and bring good old Robbie to remove that for us, and I'm using a smoothie and oven captain. It's gonna make this clear very fast because that switchability will let me quickly, you know, go through the stages without having to attack and stall as much. And then also on the final stage, I'm gonna make sure that they're both oven, and essentially, yeah, that is literally all we need to remove. It's just the silence. Everyone else here is just here for damage increase. So double oven captains means we're gonna have a, I think it's a 3.75 in that dual form. This unit is so good for free to play, man. 3.75 as a captain that's free is actually kind of nutty. And that special is also pretty nice, giving us a no boost, but you're like, well, it's kind of random, Poizesto. How are we going to get matching orbs? Well, would you look at that? My man, Basil Hawkins coming through, going to give us all matching orbs. Just guaranteed. Basil Hawkins is sick. If you don't have him, highly recommend you guys use your tickets on him. I've used him quite a few times in the recent treasure maps. Warden, Magellan, or Colosseum Magellan, whatever you want to call him. He's here for the, because it's not all immunity, so we can get the conditional of the venom with the toxic conditional effect for us. Let's see, boost attack against poison enemies by 1.75, which is nice. And then Luffy's here for color affinity. Like, this team is definitely overkill. Full board matching orbs. I don't have an attack boost, but I do have a conditional boost, and I also have a color affinity boost. So yeah, I don't really need the attack. Honestly. Like, the attack would just be way overkill at that point. Bring someone who removes silence and you're good to go on this fight. If you don't have a Robbie, which, I mean, come on guys, how do you not have a Robbie? Like, come on guys, you shouldn't do this to yourself, alright? You should not be doing this to yourself. You could go ahead and use any one of these units. Potentially, if you really don't have anyone, you could use the treasure map unit themselves if you're that desperate, but I would recommend to use them as captains for other fights. I wouldn't recommend to use them as a sailor. Shooting Maru's okay, but you'd have to make it kinda slasher based, and he's dex too, which means he's not gonna output the most damage. Honestly, yeah, if you don't have anyone, then the free to play side Robin is pretty much your only option at that point, and hopefully you don't have to resort to that. Hopefully you do have a Robbie. Okay, so here we are on the final one, the Rebecca and Viola fight, the big bad boss. What are they saying? You know, what's gonna be the big issue here? Honestly, not that much. Like, the team I've made is so scuffed, and it's so free to play, and it's still probably gonna get me through it for a long time. It'll honestly get me through it to the point where I get the treasure map unit, and I'm gonna rejig this whole team once I get Rebecca and Viola, because they will make this so much easier with that switchability. But let's go ahead and talk about it now, and I'll, you know, explain what's going on. So stage 5, quick Rebecca. Increased defense is the only thing we need to worry about, and it is actually a lot, so you definitely need to remove it. So brought good old Jewelry Bunny here to remove that for us. She's also going to give us a full board of recovery orbs, so full board matching orbs too, thanks to her sailor effect. If you haven't farmed Jewelry Bunny, check out my video where I did a Brook and Kaido team. Made it super easy to farm, and shout outs to K Kona for that idea as well. You know, I have to give him a shout out again because that team was definitely heat. So yeah, Bunny's gonna sort out that fight super easy. Matching orbs, quick character, bunch of dex units. She's definitely dead. Stage 6, a little bit annoying. She's gonna give us a chain coefficient reduction, which means if you don't have any way to remove that, or if you don't, you know, bring someone who can do a chain lock, it is actually kind of annoying. However, what I'm doing here to circumvent that is I've gone ahead and I abused the empty orb mechanic again. So this Doflamingo, whenever I saw empty orbs, I would just use him as a sub, because he's gonna give us 4 board matching orbs, give us a 2x attack boost after the 12th hit. So essentially, as long as I end my chain with Tashigi, it should be enough damage, potentially, hopefully. Over time, if it doesn't end up being enough, I'm gonna go ahead and run Viola Captain instead, or like Friend Captain, Nami and Robin, because I do have a few, but not that many. But yeah, that will help us on that stage, and it will essentially allow us to kill it super easy. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the stage 7, the final one. What is the big thing that we need to worry about? Not much, because keep in mind, we've went ahead and used Doflamingo special. There's no preemptive here that shuffles our orbs, and because he locks our orbs, we're gonna go into the final room with 4 board matching orbs, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get to use a Tashigi for my this is one of the newer units I pulled on that 30 gem multi, luckily enough, and she's gonna make sure all the slots other than Dex and Int, I believe, are counted as beneficial. And if we have 5 or more characters with Dex or Int, which is what the whole team is, and thanks to Dofi we've locked our orbs, we're gonna go ahead and get a 2.25 attack boost for 1 turn, which is just nutty, man. Actually just completely nutty. All we have to remove now is the despair and the paralysis, and I went ahead and used Shirahoshi to remove the paralysis, and then the double Perona captains will go ahead and remove the despair. In all honesty, like I keep saying, once I get Rebecca and Viola, I'm gonna switch up this team. I'm probably gonna use Rebecca and Viola captain here, bring Neptune for a sub to help me remove the despair in case I don't have a friend Nami and Robin. That way I can still deal with both of those things, because again they shuffle and randomize your orbs on their swap, which means your orbs are no longer empty, which means you can still output a decent amount of damage. Because if you're not using Nami and Robin captain, empty orbs aren't going to do as much damage as an orb that has as a slot that has an orb in it. So other than that, there's not much to even worry about. You just go ahead and burst, unleash your load on that fight, and then that's it. That's pretty much GG. And I made sure to save my highest point boosters for the invasion and the final boss fight, as always, because they do give you the most points. Yeah, so that's about it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any more questions, let me know. This treasure map is honestly so free to play heavy. Like, you could even optimize these teams a bit more if you want more points, honestly, I would say. And if you got lucky and got, if you did pulls on the treasure map, then hopefully you got something good, and you can use those units. Or if you got lucky on the Sugar Fest, and if you have Nami and Robin, this thing is so free, because they're giving you so many empty orbs throughout this whole at least in these 2 fights anyway. So the final fight and the invasion are just so free with Nami and Robin. It's not even funny. So yeah, hopefully that helped you guys. If you have any more questions, like I said, let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, I will be streaming this too, so check out my Twitch when it does go live. UK time, probably around I say 6 PM GMT. We'll do it around the night time. Hopefully you USA guys will hop on by and whatnot. But yeah, enough dilly-dallying. Let's just end the freaking video, man. Why am I still talking? Alright guys, take it easy. Poizesto, signing out. Peace out.